All right,
Okay.
let's talk about the big thing though. Let's talk about this nickel and diming, what that means.
Talk about Uber
And
math. Let's talk about Uber
yeah,
math.
let's talk about some math. So for those who don't like math, this is going to be real simple, real easy. But the whole thing is, when it comes down to it, is upfront earnings, and they can nickel and dime drivers.
A
But
lot
what
of
is
money.
that actually going to turn into when it comes to the money? So let's do a quick math
Yeah,
lesson.
let's do
Sergio.
Uber. Let's do a quick. Here's math classes on Math 101. So, okay, personally speaking, okay, way before this, 2 months ago, we did an episode and I talked about it. I said this is going to be boiling the frog slowly. This is a fair cut, but it's an unnoticeable fair cut to the most drivers. 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents. Sometimes in your favor by a nickel, the dime. That's why I call it nickel and dime and Uber upfront fares math. So let's okay. I mean, you guys will get blown away with these numbers, but here it goes. So let's assume this, okay? Because I am already working on my spreadsheet after doing a few trips. Now everybody can do this. Are you here, Jeff? Jeff, you're doing it too, right? Jeff in South Carolina, my buddy. This is an easy spreadsheet, people. I'm not asking for you to be a math scientist, okay? You know what? You know what your rates were in your city by miles and minutes before Upfront showed up, okay? And when you finish a trip, it tells you, because we're not getting paid on period 2, which is going to picking up the passenger, right? Always, and it's still the same, okay? Upfront fares is not figuring that part of it anyway. Upfront fares is just figuring out, from pickup to drop off. Well, that mileage is there and the duration is there. So if you know, well, hopefully I mean, I know, mine was 60-21, 60 cents a mile, 21 cents a minute in LA. No surge, no quest, nothing, right? So all you can do is you can do like 100 trips, let's say, and put all your trips on the left side of the spreadsheet. And then on the right side of the spreadsheet, you can calculate by miles and minutes what it would have been. Then you can figure out in aggregate, maybe on 100 trips, if this upfront fare is paying you less or upfront fare is paying you more. Well, from what Uber said to us and everybody else, it's revenue neutral for the driver. There's a rebalancing. Short trips may pay you more. Longer trips are definitely going to pay you less. Mm-hmm. Definitely. So put all 100 or 200 or 500. I prefer the bigger the data, the better. So you can smooth it out a little bit. So put them on one side of the spreadsheet with upfront, put them on one side of the spreadsheet with miles and minutes that you used to have. Exclude your tips, exclude the quest, exclude the boost, exclude the surge. Apples to apples, 100 trips, 200 trips. With upfront, you made $500. With miles and minutes, you would have made $550. Well, guess what? Where is that $50 going? Because that 50 probably was a nickel on one trip, a dime on another trip, on a nickel on another trip, right? So here's my math. Let's assume, without us feeling it even, the pinch of it, Uber takes an extra dime for each trip that they do. Last quarter, which was their second fiscal quarter, Uber did 1.87 billion trips. If they just took a dime off the top on every trip. Now, we're not talking, by the way, the 50% take, 60% take. This is simple math. Just a dime. Paid the drivers a dime less and took the dime and put them in their own pocket. That would equal $187 million per quarter. There are 4 quarters a year. That's $750 million on their bottom line. Now, imagine what those numbers would look like if this was $1 or if it was 50 cents. But I just want the dime. It's an easy thing to figure out. That's why I'm not a stock analyst. Don't take this as financial advice. I am long Uber. I own Uber. I think they're going to make money hand over fist with the system that they're running. This is only a dime, Chris. Mm-hmm. Imagine if it was a quarter.
Yeah. And if it was, this is the other thing. Like, I don't want to do just the test just next week when you're talking about it. I want to do it 3 months from now. I want to do it 6 months from now, 9 months, a year. Because here's the thing: as we've said and mentioned the scenario, the frog in boiling water. If you put a frog in boiling water as it's boiling, he's going to jump right out. But if you start off at room temperature, put that frog in and slowly heat it up to boiling, that frog will boil himself to death. So with that being said, they could condition you. Oh, let's start now by taking a dime per ride. So instead of whatever it might be, we're going to take a dime. And then maybe in 3 months, they're like, we're going to drop it by 50 cents. We're going to drop it a little bit more. And then, we're going to machine learn exactly how to price rides properly. So the Formica can actually take all the rides. So that's one thing to watch. And then, who knows what it could turn into? That's the other thing. Yeah, that's, again, just a dime. So a nickel.
That's a mind-boggling number. Yeah,
but here's the other thing. If anybody owns Twitter stock, you should. Who knows? Maybe transition your Twitter stock after Elon buys it, which just agreed to. So it's moving forward. Elon, he's going to take it private.
Remains to be seen.
So with that being said, maybe he's transition it to some Uber stock or something. Again, not financial advisor. Do your own research, but.
No. I you know what? I'm not giving financial advice, but I do consult with 2 Wall Street firms, and this is exactly what I've told them before the reports. I can tell you guys now because the reports are out there. Hey, Levi, what's up? Levi was on one of our town halls. Yes, you did, Levi. That wasn't 2 months ago. It was more than 2 months ago. But so this is Uber math. How do you guys like it? A dime, just a dime. You won't even feel it, and it was like, oh. And you know what? Who said this, by the way? Who I have to give credit? The ex-CFO of Uber. Before he got, fired, he said this: we don't want to make tons of money on each trip, which they are. I mean, don't get me wrong. So this is, by the way, this dime. People understand they're not just making a dime. This is a dime on top of their 40-50% take. That's the difference we're talking about. Just a dime. What it would make, it'll bring in $750 million in the bottom line. Nobody will feel it. And that's how they're going to do it. Slowly. That a dime for 3 months, 15 cents for the next 3 months, 20 cents for the next 3 months. And pretty soon Uber will be like a $200 stock. So there you go.
Not only that, here's the thing. First off, think about it this way. Like, I think, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about how Uber and Lyft are raising prices on riders.
Yes,
but
they are.
They're not raising what they're paying drivers necessarily. So, as one goes over the other, you're going to have a greater take rate of what they're taking. So, these, again, are things that this is why we want to test out upfront earnings. These are some of the cons that we want to bring to light. But the thing is, it's I say this all the time, it's machine learning. So Formica, you need to stop accepting every ride, because they said, both DK and Jay-Z, with Harry's interviews, both said that they want drivers to accept 100% of everything offered, because that means they're pricing rides correct. They are not pricing rides correct, because I know many drivers who would accept everything who are now cherry picking a lot more. So their acceptance rate, let's say, is 90% or higher before upfront earnings came to the market. Now maybe it's 70% or less. So drivers are saying, hey, this isn't worth it for me to take. I'm not taking it. And so this is where the algorithm, which, if you want to know a quick thing of algorithm, you put input in, it does its thing, and it gives you output. So the whole thing is, we have to design the inputs the way we want to. So that means if a ride isn't worth it, if it's not priced right, do not accept it, because that's going to have to tell Uber and its machine learning algorithms, this isn't worth it. We're going to have to change the rate for that particular ride. So instead of everybody accepting everything, the algorithm will say, oh, well, everyone's accepting this. Let's lower what the driver is going to get offered. Let's lower it even more until we hit the equilibrium point. So again, this is where we can give ourselves a technical pay raise by feeding the information that we want the algorithm to learn, by saying, hey, this ride is not worth it for us to take. I'm not accepting it. All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club, with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.